All righty. I think we are live. Let's give everyone a little bit of time to hop in to kick off this Community Connect and official OMtober AMA for the Sherpas. Let's just give everyone a little bit of time to hop on, but got a lot of stuff to cover today. Obviously, OMtober is going to be a big month for us, big month for the community, and have a lot of exciting things to talk about, a lot of exciting things to share. So let's just give it a minute. Hope everyone survived the bloody the bloodiness from yesterday. I guess if you're an OM, you're probably doing okay. We seemed to move a little bit against the market yesterday, which has been good. GM, Kogore, Wild Crypto, Masfi, DeFi Sushi, Yasus. How's it going, guys? Matt L, Geom always. G Mantra, La Mantra, B Mantra. Yeah, let's just give it a minute or two and then I'll kick off. We have a lot of stuff to go over, as I mentioned. This is a huge month for us. And I want to okay, I already see comments coming in. What day does mainnet go live? So we'll talk about that. Stanket, Afrez, Mohammed, Khan V, how's it going, guys? Good to see everyone. Kajal, GM. Alrighty, cool. Well, first and foremost, I just want to say happy OMtober. It's technically the 2nd of October, OMtober here, but we did want to just make sure that we had everything ready to share with you guys about what's coming this month, some of these exciting initiatives that we're working on. And I think, it's an exciting time to be in the Sherpa community. I just want to point out that literally today, we hit our highest ranking right now, actually. Highest ranking ever on CoinMarketCap of number 61. So we are currently the 61st largest cryptocurrency asset in the world, which is an exciting thing given the progress they've made this year. Obviously feel like there's still a long way to go, and we're just getting started. And I think being at the beginning of October or beginning of OMtober is even more exciting because we haven't even come up with the stuff that we want to push out this month. And then obviously OMtober is just the tipping point for everything else that we have planned for this real world asset initiatives that we're building and this kind of RWA ecosystem that we're leading. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. It's a huge testament to the team's hard work. It's a huge testament to the community support. Everyone should be really proud of themselves. I'm really proud of everyone for the hard work there. It's no joke to be to be at the stage that we're at, and it just is a testament to everyone's support. So thank you very much for that. It really is a significantly big accomplishment and something that means a lot to me and to the team. So LFG for that. The other thing I wanted to point out is we have officially crossed 300,000 followers. Ali, what's up, my brother? We've officially crossed 300,000 Sherpas and followers on Twitter. The community keeps growing. The attention and the eyes continue to increase. And it's, again, a very exciting thing that, we still have such a long way to go, but the traction and the following is continuing to grow every day. So that's amazing. And just again, shout out to all the new joiners who are learning about Mantra. There's so many exciting things that we have planned for this month, for OMtober, and for what's ahead. A couple of things I want to talk about. I mean, there's a number of things, but I do want to also just talk a little bit about the success of the Chakra pool for USDY, which was a relation to our partnership with Ondo Finance, which effectively was the first Chakra RWA vault or RWA pool that we launched. Effectively, the Chakra pool for USDY gave basically yield in US treasuries, so roughly 5%. It also gave some additional exposure in Ondo tokens as well as in OM. And we got to 18 point, I think roughly $6 million worth of TVL from both retail and institutional participants, which is amazing. Just some logistics on that. We are finalizing some of the kind of the on-chain analytics and calculations just to make sure that we're consistent with what is going to be delivered in terms of interest and yield to the participants. And we are also in conversations to potentially even have another additional USDY pool with additional incentives that people can participate in if they weren't able to, make it into the last one. Obviously, the idea is this is a way to bootstrap TVL before mainnet, and I think bootstrapping nearly $20 million of stablecoin TVL via USDY before even launching the mainnet is a massive feat. So before we even launch some of these bigger RWA deals, before we announce some of these bigger RWA initiatives, we already have significant TVL with stablecoins, with USDY being the first one coming come mainnet launch. So that's pretty exciting. I'm very pleased with that one. Again, we still feel like there's a long way to go with those Chakra pools. So I see some questions coming about will we have new Chakra pools, new asset classes, etc. So the idea is absolutely for all these different RWA initiatives, we want to be launching a pool that is retail friendly, retail accessible, that people can participate in. So be expecting new pools in addition to the existing ones, and that's something that will be part of the OMtober rollout. Is some of these new RWA deals that we're going to be announcing and launching for you guys imminently. So that's definitely exciting. Let's see a couple other questions. Do we still get DuKong testnet before mainnet? Yes, this will be going out to the public imminently, and it'll be something that you guys can participate in. DuKong is the official testnet going forward, right? So Hongbai was the first iteration that will be deprecated, where DuKong will be the official testnet for anything going forward, even post mainnet. So similar to how Ethereum has Sepolia or some of these other ones, that DuKong will be ours. Hopefully that answers the question, Colin. Let's see, a couple other questions. Funny crossword puzzle. What is Mantra's strategy for scaling TVL following the mainnet launch? So we have to have basically a dual strategy here, both for DeFi native TVL, stablecoins, liquidity provision, yield farming pools, etc. So yield strategies, vaults, etc., as well as RWA TVL. So we're kind of pushing it on both sides. We have initiatives on both fronts, and we're pretty excited to roll out different vaults, different pools, different RWA deals, which you guys will be able to participate in, at your interest. And we'll continue to share those as they come up in the few the next coming weeks, months, etc. But expect a pretty significant rollout, post mainnet. We have a lot of different deals and a number of different asset classes across RWAs, including some of the partnerships we've already announced, but also some new ones that we have yet to announce, which you guys can participate in and expect. Let's see what else. Will there be limited edition OM merchandise drop to celebrate OMtober? That is a good question. I think a lot of people were super excited about those pink socks that were going all over X, thanks to DeFi Sushi and Ainsley particularly. So if you want some socks, we definitely have some special pink Mantra socks that we'll happy to figure out some sort of giveaway for people. Sanket, when airdrop? Everyone's asking when airdrop. I will talk about that when we talk about the tokenomics. So one of the big things I want to talk about today is the tokenomics, because we will be coming out with a existing proposal, or sorry, not a new proposal on top of the existing one that you guys voted on in the beginning of the year. So you can go through that and finalize the exact emissions in more granular detail. But I will walk through that in just a bit. Lots of questions here. Any games building a Mantra? Obviously, Mosfi, we have, it's primarily a RWA focused chain. I mean, that's our focus. But there are some interesting kind of gaming initiatives that are trying to build in RWA yield into their gaming infrastructure. So that's kind of a cool idea. Quizbox, can holders of old V1 tokens swap for V2 tokens when mainnet launches? Yes, that's kind of the plan. But technically, it would be V3 because it's mainnet, not old Ethereum V2. Sorry, there's so many questions. Let's see. Okay, so anyway, let me get back to kind of my list of ideas, and I'll keep trying to cover the questions as they come in. Obviously, there's a lot. I think people are very excited about OMtober and what's ahead. So that's great. Actually, talking about that idea of real yield. One of the things that I did tweet about on Telegram, or sorry, on Twitter, I guess a couple weeks back, was this idea of having the ability to stake OM and earn real world asset yield. So when we're going through, our tokenomic initiatives, our tokenomic design and modeling, obviously the way to bootstrap network security in the beginning is to do it via, OM emissions and OM inflation. So this will be a, core part of bootstrapping network security on the mainnet, as well as making sure people have some incentive to stake, some incentive to participate on the network, and bring it, the relevant security. That being said, inflation and emissions do have, the potential to have, downward price appreciation because there's selling pressure. So one thing that we've been very clear about in our tokenomics is making sure that everything we're trying to do is long-term aligned. We're not here for a short term. We're here for the long term. We've been building Mantra for 4 years, and we really feel like we're going to be building for the next 40. Really, it's just the beginning for us. That being said, this is replicated in the tokenomic model. So long-term alignment is incredibly important. Community alignment is also incredibly important, making sure that we take significant consideration of our existing token holders, of our existing supporters, and making sure that even down to the smallest OM holder, we're taking them into consideration when we're building this out. So it's not just benefiting the whales. We want to make sure that every single small, whether you're holding 1 ohm or 1 million ohm, or 10 million ohm, we want to make sure that you're considered in our tokenomic proposal. So that's something that's incredibly important. But again, this idea of real yield is critical, because over time we do want to remove and move away from having OM inflation being the driver of economic security. And one of the ways that you can do that is by introducing this concept of real yield. So actually paying out some sort of stablecoin interest or dollar-based interest rather than OM-based interest for staking and securing the network. So that's something that we're building out and working on. But the idea would be basically stake OM, earn some sort of stable income, stable yield, as opposed to having to solely rely on OM token emissions and OM token inflations. This is something that I think is quite powerful from a tokenomic modeling perspective, because it removes that supply coming onto the market, and obviously will give a significant reason to hold OM, to stake it, and to participate on the network. Let's see. Sorry, there's a lot of questions here coming in. Are there upcoming DAO-related features to the mainnet that the community should show out to? Well, the DAO proposal for the tokenomics will be coming out later this week. That's something that you can finalize, because we want to effectively ratify very publicly, very transparently, exactly what the emission schedules are going to look like, exactly what the tokenomic considerations are, and get the final community buy-in, just so you can again be a participant on this collective kind of decision. Let's see what else. Are there any new partnerships? There's a lot of new partnerships, Dare. Or Dare. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Anyway, there's a ton of new partnerships that will be coming out this month. We're calling it OMtober for a reason. We want to have massive news, massive announcements consistently throughout this month. So just be expecting a ton of really, really exciting things coming. I won't give away too much there, just because better to see it for yourself than me just shill it. But honestly, there's some crazy things. We're trying to make the month of October for us, or the month of OMtober for us, what other projects aspire to achieve in an entire year, in a great year, right? So that's just the level of things that we're aiming to achieve here, and we're on track to do so. So which is amazing. So I guess one other thing before I kind of start going through the tokenomics, which are important, is just a bit of a shout out to all the different initiatives, all the different events, all the different things the team has been participating in order to get the word out about Mantra, talk about real world assets, and share a little bit more about our vision for what asset tokenization looks like and RWAs look like in the future. So over the last 2-3 months, we've been at gosh knows how many conferences, how many events, from Asia Blockchain Summit in Taipei, to Istanbul Blockchain Week in Turkey, to WebEx in Tokyo, Korea Blockchain Week, Token 2049 Singapore. I'm in New York right now participating at Messari Mainnet. We'll be going out to Permissionless in Salt Lake City next week. Then back to Hong Kong to continue with the OMtober announcements and push. Then finally moving on to Cosmoverse in Dubai, and then Binance Blockchain Week to round out OMtober. So we have a really full schedule, a really busy time this month. It's been basically lot of plane rides and a lot of jet lag, but hanging in there, and obviously, living on adrenaline right now, and lack of sleep, just because it's time to go. Um, anyway, so we've been everywhere, and if anyone's going to be at these events, if anyone's at particularly permissionless, Cosmoverse, or BBW, Binance Blockchain Week, let us know. We will be there. Um, and we'd love to see you in person. We'd love to talk more about what we're building, share a little bit more about how you can get involved, and of course meet the team. It's always good to meet community members. I love when people come up at conferences and are introducing themselves, and we see all the time people who have participated even in Mantra since we launched 4 years ago, and I just love meeting the community. So if you ever like see us, please do come and say hi. It does mean a lot. So Con V, please update mainnet day. Okay, so I will just say here, I'm not going to be announcing the mainnet day today, and actually, we will not be announcing the mainnet day in advance, period. And the reason for that is very clear. Mantra and OM is already a live token, right? Mantra has been around for 4 years. OM has been around for 4 years. We just celebrated our fourth TGE in August, so fourth birthday or fourth anniversary. And because of that, and also because we have perpetuals, we have perps markets. This could be seen as telegraphing an event, which we don't want to do. We don't want to have any unnecessary sell pressure. We just want to achieve it. And instead of doing this announcement of an announcement idea, honestly, we're just going to do it. And I think this is a better way to really launch something successfully and not have this build up and hype and then a potential sell off. And this is a really important thing because we have this alignment with the community. We want to make sure that we do everything we can to preserve that integrity of the community and that support. So we're not going to announce the day. We're just going to do it. So it could literally be any day now. I'll just put that out there. That even might be even more suspenseful. So do with that information what you will. But just FYI, it's going to happen, and then you're going to know about it. Okay, so let's go into tokenomics. So yeah, Nuzube, I'm not telling what week it will be. I'm not telling what day it's going to be. It's going to happen when it happens. So tokenomics, I think this is really the critical message that I want to get out today. And then that will be the baseline for all these different partnerships and announcements we're going to have for the rest of this month, including the launch. So, over this year particularly, there's been, so many different launches that have happened, and there has been, little to no transparency in terms of tokenomics. There's been, shady, kind of tactics that suppress actual supply in the market, making it seem like there's less, but there's just all these different tricks that people are playing to really engineer their tokenomics to make it more beneficial to them in the market's perspective, but actually behind the scenes they're doing things like selling secondaries and having unlocked staking rewards and doing all these things, which at the end of the day hurt the secondary market buyer and the community. So these are elements that we've seen over this year particularly that have been very harmful to the community and are something that we've implemented in reverse to make sure that does not happen with our model and with our tokenomics. So this whole idea of low float, high FDV, where you launch a token that has 5 to 10% of the supply in circulation or in the float, and then you have billions of dollars of valuation that's locked, invested. But in the end of the day, now people can sell these things. They can sell them at discounts. They can sell SaaS. They can do secondaries. They can do all these things that end of the day are behind closed doors, that are private, and that really end up harming the community. So you can literally lock in profits before the token even goes live. And it's just not really a very good thing for the community. It's not a good thing for retail investors, and it's something that we want to avoid at all costs. Obviously, existing supply of OM is 888 million. Of that today, I believe roughly 850 million of that is in circulation. So let's just call it 95% to be easy. The vast majority of it is in the market, right? And that's a critically important thing. Obviously, through this new tokenomics upgrade that we're going to be going for the mainnet launch and the migration from Ethereum side to mainnet side, this supply is changing. This supply is changing in totality, but not into the market directly. And that's something you'll see when we put out this proposal, that actually, aside from a very select, small amount of tokens, which are going to be for liquidity provision, community incentives, things of this nature, everything else is long-term vested. It's community aligned, and it's basically meant for you guys to be a participant in the ecosystem, bootstrapping the network security, but at the same time, not having super significant new supply come in the market. Actually, there's going to be very little new supply come in the market. So when we actually launch Mainnet, we're going to be the anti-low float high FTV, literally anti. We're going to be literally 50% of it is already going to be in circulation even after, right? So that's a pretty important thing. Rather than having 5 to 10% with all this dilution coming down, we're going to launch with roughly 50% in circulation, and the rest of it long-term vested, community aligned for the future. One of the things that we're going to be talking about is different buckets. So we have, a community bucket for that OM upgrade, which currently, if you're staking on the Ethereum side, you're eligible for this OM upgrade, which is, a 1.35x multiplier, or 35% bonus, basically. I'm going to talk about investor staking. I want to talk about the team and advisor and core contributor ecosystem bucket, and then the Genesis drop, right? So I will start with the investor staking. So, one of the things that has been an issue for, projects is that they, particularly for POS chains and infrastructure, is they basically sell tokens to investors, to private investors, which, is fine. You need to do that. But then they don't clearly communicate what is happening to those investors' tokens, right? So it's great. I think all private investors should have significantly long vesting. So multi-year, right? Like you need to have a cliff, you need to have long vesting, and we tend to do cliff plus linear vesting. Linear vesting is better in our opinion because it allows for people to come in and claim and participate at any given time and not have these massive supply shocks at a specific time and date that you can telegraph. People can short into, they can sell before, buy back. These type of things, these unlocks are more mental things that we don't really like to do. So spreading it out over a linear unlocking schedule is better for us. So we have two different buckets. We have a pre-seed, which is the earliest investors in a seed round. These are all, again, long-term vested, multi-year in many instances. But one thing that I did talk about on Twitter is this idea of not having their staking rewards liquid. This is really important. I think there was a project that had an investor who was able to 4x their investment before they even got a locked token. I won't name names on that one. You can check it out on Twitter. So they haven't even sold a token and they've already 4x their investment, which I think is kind of ridiculous. They've just been able to sell staking rewards. So effectively what we've done is any investor tokens, we will stake them. And we actually need to stake them because we need to make sure that we maintain network security. Obviously, with this new supply of 1.77B total, again, not in circulation, total, we need to maintain at least 33% initially staked in order to bootstrap the network securely. So from these investor tokens that they've purchased, in the beginning of end of last year, beginning of this year, et cetera, long-term vested, as I mentioned, tokens are stakeable, but the rewards of those staked tokens will also follow the same vesting schedule, right? So let's just use an example of the pre-seed investors, which have a 12-month cliff from Mainnet, right? And they've already invested in the beginning of the year or the end of last year. So they're already talking about almost a year of nothing. They have another year of nothing, and then they have 24 months linear unlocking. So that's almost going to be a 4-year vesting schedule just for the full liquidity of their investments. Obviously, the token has done incredibly well, so they're all happy. I think. But, it's critically important that they're not going to be able to benefit earlier at the behest of the community. It needs to be community aligned. That is incredibly, incredibly important for us. So those tokens will be stakeable, but their rewards will be vested in accordance to their vesting schedule. In that instance, it'd be 12 months cliff, 24 months linear unlocking, which is where their staking rewards would also be vested in accordance to that schedule. That's one important thing. The next thing I want to talk about is the core contributor and team and advisor tokens. This is a bucket that effectively was realigning the team for the long contribution and realigning the core contributors to the long-term success of the project. As I mentioned, Mantra is 4 years old. technically on the existing Ethereum tokenomics, I don't talk about this too much, but on the existing Ethereum tokenomics, all of the team and advisor allocations that we're supposed to earn during that period of time have vested, for some time. I'll speak for myself as one of the founders. Have never ever taken a single token from the team and advisor allocation that I was initially granted back in 2020. Have actually revested anything that I was entitled for the future. So that's an incredibly important thing. We are here for the long haul. We are community aligned with you guys. We want to see this through for the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And we're making sure that our incentives match that long-term vision and long-term alignment. That being said, one thing that we do need to do, as I mentioned, is bootstrap that network security, right? People are saying the name of the project. Anyway, I won't comment. This is a Mantra AMA, not a third party AMA, so I won't comment on other projects on this one. But anywho, it's a solid project, by the way. Just I think there's some tokenomics considerations that we would do differently. So anyway, back to the team and advisor and the core contributor tokens. As I mentioned, these are long-term vested, long-term aligned, and revested from people who have already been participating in the project for some time now. And that's not a problem for us, right? We're here for the long haul, not the short time. But one thing that's important here is, again, maintaining that network security. So one of the things that you'll see in the proposal, and obviously would like feedback and input on, but we think is generally beneficial and also very aligned for the community, is that this initial bucket will be staked. So team and advisor, core contributor tokens will be staked transparently. So you'll see that wallet address, you'll see how they're staked. But the key here is any rewards generated by this bucket are only for maintaining network security, period, full stop. What does that mean? That means that basically these tokens are staked in the beginning to make sure that we have proper network security of the proof of stake mainnet chain. But any rewards generated would go to a verifiable wallet address that you guys will be able to see. And these rewards will never go back to a team member, will never go back to a contributor, will never go back to anyone, but to benefit the community. So what does that mean? That means there's going to be a couple things. It means it would either be these tokens will be burned and destroyed. I don't personally like burning so much, but it is something that we can consider. Or they will be given back to the community through different community initiatives, community incentives that the community can vote on and have general input on how we actually utilize these tokens. So I think it's incredibly important that, again, we maintain this security as closely as possible, and over time, as we have more organic network security, people moving over from the Ethereum side, staking their tokens, we can wean off that staking contribution from this particular bucket. But anything beneficial, economically beneficial from that staking is not going back to us. It's going back to the community, going back to you guys, showing that alignment, showing that we're here for the community, we're here for you guys, and we want to put our money where our mouth is, literally, if that makes sense. We'll also have some more details on the Genesis drop and how that will be distributed and issued. I think one thing that I just want to talk about on this particular topic is this idea of, obviously we have people who have participated in the initial Chakra pool earning a lot of karma. That karma score is going to be very important for maximizing your upside in this Genesis drop. So we're going to continue to roll this out over time. It will be something that you guys will be able to, benefit from continuously. So the more karma, the better your opportunities are to earn from this Genesis drop going forward. And finally, the one thing that I do want to talk about, which I think you guys are all going to very much like, is the OM upgrade bucket. So initially, when we were mentioning this to the community, we were saying, for people who stake, they can earn that 35% bonus, the 1.35x over time, right? Actually, that number is going to be significantly more. So we've been doing some modeling, and right now we're anticipating it's going to be closer to, I'm going to say, not financial advice, year in research. This is nothing to do with anything other than just an update. That APY is going to be closer to 130% bonus. So the initial supporters, the initial contributors, the people who have been staking to the community for a long time are not getting that 35% bonus anymore. It's going to be closer to 130%. This is obviously significant. There will be vesting attached to this, but the bonus is huge. And the way that we've kind of aligned this is twofold. So when we were going through the on-chain analytics, the on-chain information, we saw that there was a big discrepancy between the smaller token wallets and stakers and the bigger ones. And how we've kind of gone about this is that there's going to be 2 tiers. So if you're under a certain threshold of tokens staked, your vesting will be less. If you're over a certain threshold, your vesting will be significantly more, even double. Again, this is showing alignment with the community that the smaller token holders are taking into consideration, whereas the people who have larger token holdings can do this for the benefit of the community in the long haul because they're getting such a big bonus. So I think this is really aligned with benefiting everyone, benefiting the Sherpas, and again, giving what's as fair as possible to everyone, but still maintaining a lot of significant upside, a lot of significant potential opportunity for everyone to participate. So again, just be on the lookout for this specific detail. But again, this idea about being community aligned, about being, focusing on whether you're a 1 ohm holder or a 10 million ohm holder is incredibly important for us, that everyone feels like they're a part of this community. And we want that to be reflected in our tokenomics proposal. So hopefully you guys will participate. That obviously the upside and the bonus is going to be good for everyone. But again, making sure that smaller token holders are taking consideration and also have the opportunity to benefit from this. I will also note on that one, snapshots have already been taken, so you can't move around tokens now and expect to be underneath the threshold. So don't split into wallets. Don't do that. It's not going to help you. We've already done everything, and it's already been taken into consideration. So you're just going to have to live with it. But anyway, people are still going to get a lot of benefit from this, whether you're a big holder or a small holder. So Abhishek is asking, I'll take some questions now. I'm going on 30 minutes now, so hopefully this has been beneficial for everyone. But let me just take a couple questions, and I'll let it go. Abhishek was asking about, can any startup build RWA and access retail institutions under Mantra features of license, or do you have any criteria? It's a good question. Obviously, I think the criteria is, we want to work with high quality builders, high quality assets, and people who are long-term aligned, here for the community, and here to build really interesting, novel, real-world asset applications on Mantra and for the future. So if those meet your criteria, then we're happy to consider how we can work together. So anyway, that's a good thing. I'm already getting text messages, by the way, of people who are watching the video and now are asking about these new upgrades and bonuses. That's pretty funny. Anywho, so what else can we see here? So Huang, when mainnet, as I mentioned earlier, we're not going to be telegraphing the exact date. It's just going to happen, but it is happening this month, as we've discussed already. Okay, Khan is making a prediction. Anyone think like me? Total supply ohm is 8888. Karma in Mantra Zone 8.8. When mainnet day is 8 a.m. 8 OMtober. No, I can go ahead and tell you it's not going to be that time. Matt L, great question. How will ohm stakers receive their 1.35x plus mainnet ohm rewards? So as I mentioned, obviously it's more than 1.35x now. It's going to be significantly more. But how this is going to happen is basically when mainnet goes live, when we publish the bridge, or the migration portal, when we publish the website that you guys can actually interact with, basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be able to merge your Ethereum wallet to your mainnet Mantra chain wallet. And honestly, many people have already done this. They've created Leap wallets, they've created Kepler wallets, and they've been interacting with the Chakra pool. So if you've been interacting with any of these quests, you're already going to get already going to have that wallet. So effectively, what you're going to want to do is, basically move at least one. You have to move a minimum of 1 ohm from Ethereum over to mainnet, and then you'll be able to claim or begin claiming your upgrade tokens on the mainnet side. This will be on Mantra Zone, so the website that you guys have interacted with the Chakra pools on. There'll be a number of different panels that you can interact with on the side that have different things, including swap, including bridge, including migrate, and other different Chakra pools that are going to be coming. So that's basically the general process. We'll have full documentation, full information, and a number of things for you guys to interact with upon mainnet launch. So I will just stop it there. We're already over time. Moving on 35 minutes now. Hopefully this was a informative session for everyone. It kicks off OMtober. I want everyone to be on the lookout for the official DAO proposal that has all the tokenomics there. Anyone can vote on it. We hope that everyone is going to be participating. giving us feedback, giving us information, and again, can really see that we've taken a significant amount of time to really try to align as much as humanly possible with the community, with the the understanding that this is something that we've been building for years now, and we're going to continue building for years, and we want to benefit everyone as much as possible with community alignment, with transparency, with integrity, and just a lot of freaking hard work. So tons of good stuff coming for the rest of this month. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. Thanks for the great questions. We'll definitely do more of these throughout the month. And again, as I mentioned, if anyone's going to be at any of these conferences that I'll be speaking at, please do come up and say hi. I love interacting with you guys, and I always really enjoy meeting the community in person. I always enjoy these sessions, spending time with you as well. So thank you for your contributions, support, and let's go OM. Cheers, guys. Thank you.